Young Thug's trial for the YSL RICO case is now getting close to beginning. Here's what you need to know. Jeffrey Williams, also known as Young Thug, created one of the biggest rap-related groups called YSL. He created many multi-millionaire rappers and even changed the lives of rappers such as Gunna and Lil Baby. However, YSL, as well as those same YSL members, are now the reason Young Thug is about to lose his life for good. As the YSL RICO case started on May 9th in 2022, when the YSL mansion would be raided by Special Forces police teams as well as the FBI in what is known as the YSL takedown. Now, in the process of the YSL takedown, a list of 28 YSL members were arrested for RICO charges alongside Young Thug and Gunna. While standing in the middle of the street, an FBI sergeant read off what Young Thug is being charged with, which is team involvement charges, narcotic charges, possession of firearm charges, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, possession of a fully auto, 3 separate charges of unlawful for person employed or associated with criminal street teams. And then to end it off, Young Thug is being hit with the racketeer influence and corrupt organization charge, otherwise known as the RICO. Now, 5 days after Young Thug's arrest, even more charges were added to his resume, as it states, "In the name in behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge and accuse Duke, Yak Gotti, and Jeffrey Williams with the offense of possession of a firearm. For the said accused, in the state of Georgia, in the county of Fulton, on the 9th day of May 2022, did unlawfully possess a firearm with a converter switch, as well as having extended mags." As during the raid on the YSL mansion, they found narcotics, firearms, switches, and other illegal items inside of the YSL mansion, allegedly with multiple items found in Young Thug's bedroom. Now, with 28 members of YSL now walking into Fulton County Jail, within 3 hours, 2 YSL members began snitching on Young Thug, creating proffer deals with the feds in exchange for a lesser prison sentence.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Now, the man snitching in that clip is none other than YSL Woody. As reports came out of, truth teller YSL Woody popped out on the gram last year after cooperating with the police for 3 hours in solving 50 crimes, telling on Young Thug, YFN Lucci, as well as others. Ironically, in his caption though, he claims he didn't cry or cooperate. Now, the judge would then share inside of the courtroom very early that YSL Woody turned state. Young Thug actually had a reaction to this recorded. However, YSL Woody would not be the only snitch going against Young Thug. Alongside 13 other snitches, one name particularly stands out. This would be none other than YSL rapper Gunna, who was caught snitching on Young Thug in 4K just to be released from prison early.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Now, one of Gunna and Young Thug's closest friends in the game, known as Lil Baby, spoke about how he feels with them in lockup. As Lil Baby said, "He is like one of my personal friends. So we like to talk on the phone, you feel me? Me and Gunna were like neighbors, know what I'm saying? So for them to be in that situation, I don't really like to talk to them. I kind of miss them a bit for sure though." Now, we would even see NBA YoungBoy tap in. Thousands of fans were asking his opinion on YSL as well as Gunna snitching, where he had this to say.
Don't call me asking me about what I think about the situation or do I think snitching. I honestly don't give not one. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
When NBA YoungBoy would release his official reaction to Gunna snitching on Young Thug, Gunna would then be released from prison. This would then make Tekashi 6ix9ine tap in, as he hopped on Clubhouse with Whack 100 to explain that Young Thug is now in a terrible situation.
So me pleading guilty is only making it worse for my man. I'm saying I was there. Yes, I did it. I plead guilty. I am guilty. I am guilty. Anything you said in that courtroom is going to be used against your man, my man. That shit is over.
Then, just a week after that phone call, 6ix9ine would then meet up with DJ Academics to share more thoughts on Gunna snitching.
He just implicated YSL being so now he's home, right? All the people who's locked up, like Jeffrey, like Young Thug, now he can't go with that defense. He can't go with the defense of saying, I'm a record label.
Now, many people have mixed opinions on Tekashi 6ix9ine ever since he snitched, but the man definitely has a point. And we would even see Snoop Dogg share, "Snitching ain't right, free Young Thug" on Twitter. Now, with Gunna, YSL Woody, and others now snitching on Young Thug, the evidence is stacking up fast. However, Young Thug's lawyers actually figured a way to defend all of this. Except, it does come with sacrificing the Young Thug name. As on October 27th, Young Thug's Twitter account would release a tweet stating, "Jeffrey has reportedly cut ties with Young Thug." Now, an online lawyer would release a statement regarding exactly what this means, so follow along closely. Now, Jeffrey Williams plays the role/character of Young Thug. The character Young Thug is technically a brand. It's not a real person. The brand Young Thug is owned by the record label 300 Entertainment, and it is used for entertainment purposes only. All lyrics used by the character Young Thug relates to no human being, as it is just for entertainment for music. With Young Thug being a character, the actions and views made by him in music lyrics, music videos, as well as videos online can no longer reflect back on the human Jeffrey Williams, as he is only playing a character. Jeffrey Williams is a person portraying to be Young Thug on behalf of the company 300 Entertainment for financial gain. Now, I know that sounds confusing, but that's exactly why it is a good thing. Young Thug, aka Jeffrey Williams, has the greatest lawyers in the United States working for him day and night, as a majority of the evidence is found through Young Thug's music lyrics, as a lot of his lyrics has him dissing ops, explaining crimes, and so on. Jeffrey Williams had nothing to do with it. He was just playing the character for entertainment. And sources claim that Young Thug will not be the only rapper to do this, as there is much more rappers to come. As an example, DJ Academics reported that Lil Baby, as well as other 4PF members, are now next up on that exact same Atlanta DA's RICO list. Now, very similar to how YSL and Young Thug were raided and arrested, Lil Baby is now next on the list.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months, you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
Now, this even got reactions from Lil Baby outside of an airport.
How you doing, little baby? Little baby. Little baby, How's young thug doing? I know all the circumstances. Just want to see how they holding up good. Sure. All right. Love what you're doing, man.
However, here's where things get a little bit more concerning. We are now starting to see YSL members try to set up Young Thug inside of the courtroom. As it was announced, my colleague Mark just obtained video surveillance that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant, Khalif Adams, of conduring a hand-to-hand deal in the courtroom. The Twitter thread continues saying, prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adams walking over to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney, and he then drops narcotics into his hand. A deputy confronts Young Thug, and he turns the item over to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was taken into Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes with the courtroom. The prosecutors then filed a motion asking the court to make a finding of fact that court was delayed on January 18th, 2023 because of the actions of defendant Williams as well as defendant Adams. To the final tweet stating, an attorney for Young Thug then responded to the allegations that his client was involved in the deal, with me now being able to find that exclusive interview of Young Thug's lawyer.
The reality is, Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants, on his way to the restroom, attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
And just when you thought things couldn't even get worse, they can. As Young Thug's manager sent out a tweet for him on his behalf on his Twitter account, where the tweet states, I'm talking with my roommate and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore, at Michael Phelps. Now it seems like a pretty normal tweet that comes out from basically anyone on the social media. Things turned ugly in the courtroom, as prosecutors are alleging Young Thug is telling his manager to tweet specific things on his Twitter account, and these tweets are secretive codes for YSL members to go commit crimes on the street.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, can you swim 100 miles in the ocean? That has nothing to do with intimidation. That ask you, Rico?
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay?
Sorry.
Yep. Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, cool.